At 6:12 a.m. on a cold November morning, police officers quietly surround a luxury mansion in one of London's richest neighborhoods. Moments later, they break down the door. Flashlights slice through the darkness. Cash-filled envelopes, designer bags, and half-open suitcases litter the floors. In a back bedroom, they find a Chinese woman in bed, stunned, half awake. On paper, her name is Yadi Zhang. In reality, she is Tianji Min, the woman behind one of China's biggest crypto-fueled investment scams. The devices the police seized that night, laptops, hard drives, scribbled notebooks, will reveal something staggering: tens of thousands of Bitcoin. Today, they're worth more than £5 billion. This is the rise and fall of the crypto queen. Our story begins in 2014, in the northern Chinese city of Tianjin. That year, Tianji Min sets up an investment company with an impressive name and an even more impressive promise. Invest with us, and you'll ride the future of technology and cryptocurrency. Promotional videos show buzzing server rooms and stylized Bitcoin mines. The pitch is simple. Your savings are turned into Bitcoin. The company mines new coins. You get guaranteed profits. For one investor we'll call Mr. Yu, it starts with something small, just over £10 a day, dripping into his account every working day. Not much, but it's regular, predictable, reassuring. Day after day the money arrives, his confidence grows. He and his wife put in more, then they borrow to invest even further. By the end, they've sunk around £100,000 into Tian's company. But this isn't just about greed. It's about why people don't pull out even when they should. The company targeted middle-aged and elderly Chinese investors. People who had worked their whole lives, saved every yuan, and were terrified of missing the next big opportunity. Tian's team knew exactly how to trap them. They created a sense of urgency, a sense of belonging, a sense of destiny. Investors weren't told to simply invest. They were told they were becoming part of a national mission, a movement, a future where ordinary Chinese citizens could finally rise into global leadership. If they pulled their money out, they risked losing everything: their returns, their status, their pride, and the belief that they were finally part of something bigger than themselves. In total, around 128,000 people invest. More than £400 million flows into the scheme. And then, in 2017, it stops. Chinese police open an investigation. The payouts freeze. The money vanishes. And so does Tianji Min. While devastated investors across China start demanding answers, but little do they know Tian is already somewhere else. She has slipped into the United Kingdom, traveling under a new name and a fake passport. Yadi Zhang, posing as an antiques and diamond dealer who made her fortune in East Asia. She rents a house in Hampstead, one of London's most exclusive neighborhoods, paying around £17,000 a month in rent. She hires a personal assistant, Wen, a former takeaway worker who suddenly finds herself working for a woman who appears impossibly wealthy and extremely paranoid. There are strict rules: no photos, no recordings, no video. Don't use the home Wi-Fi. Don't connect to the home network at all. Everything is a potential risk. Everything feels secret. Behind the curtains, Tian is sitting on a mountain of Bitcoin, bought using her investors' money, siphoned off as she fled China. Now she faces a new problem. She has too much money and no clean way to use it. At one point, she tries to buy an £11.5 million mansion in another wealthy London neighborhood. The twist? She wants to pay in Bitcoin. Her lawyers ask the obvious question:
where did all this crypto come from?
I've just been mining Bitcoin for fun. It's just a tech hobby I have.
But Bitcoin has a feature you can't talk your way around: the blockchain. When the lawyers look at the transaction history, the story falls apart. The timing, the volume, the movement of coins, none of it matches the profile of a casual hobby miner. Instead of a quirky crypto millionaire, they see something else: a serious money laundering risk. Under UK anti-money laundering laws, they do what they have to do. They alert the authorities. That's what leads to the raid on the Hampstead mansion in 2018. Inside, officers find chaos, cash scattered everywhere, bundles of £20,000 on a table, £12,000 in an envelope, even a coat hanging in a cupboard with £3,000 stuffed into the pocket. Tian herself plays a role. She comes across as confused, subdued, almost dull. One officer will later say his first impression was that she didn't seem especially bright.
But my impression of her was that she wasn't especially bright. Years later, knowing a lot more about her, that was an act, and she's very good at acting.
The police seize laptops, hard drives, and notes. In one document, Tian has carefully listed her dreams and ambitions, each one costed out in neat figures: buying expensive jewelry, joining the upper layers of British high society, and even a bizarre plan to become Queen of Liberland, a self-declared micronation on the Croatian-Serbian border. Despite everything they've found, Tien is not immediately charged. Spooked, she disappears again. For a while, the biggest clue in the case sits locked away on those seized devices. It isn't until 2021, 3 years after the raid, that investigators finally managed to unlock all the cryptocurrency wallets on the laptops and hard drives they took from the house. What they find is astonishing. 61,000 Bitcoin, at the time worth nearly £2 billion. Today, thanks to Bitcoin's dramatic rise, worth more than $5 billion. The British state is suddenly holding a crypto fortune larger than many government programs. And that's not all. In Tian's notes, officers find a reference to another wallet containing 20,008 Bitcoin, simply marked as lost. On the blockchain, those coins haven't moved since 2017. They just sit there, untouched. Today, that lost wallet is worth around £1.5 billion, visible to everyone who knows where to look, possibly unreachable to everyone. Meanwhile, Tien is still on the move. It isn't until 2024 that she's finally caught again. This time, the clue is a simple CCTV camera in the city of York. Officers watch her walk into a rented house. They move in and arrest her. In custody, she performs once more. She hunches over, shuffles her feet, takes tiny steps as if she's frail and sick. But the officers have seen her on video walking normally just weeks earlier. At first, she denies everything. Then suddenly in court, she pleads guilty to money laundering. Now, a new question hangs over the case. Who does the Bitcoin belong to? Tens of thousands of victims in China who lost their life savings? The UK authorities who seized the coins? Or someone else? The Crown Prosecution Service has launched a civil process to try to identify the rightful owners. But many victims struggle to prove their claims. Records are incomplete. Some are too scared to come forward. Others may have given up hope years ago. There is talk of a compensation scheme, but nobody knows yet whether victims would receive just the amount they originally put in, or whether they might also benefit from the 20-fold rise in Bitcoin's value since 2017. In the meantime, the UK Treasury may stand to gain billions if large portions of the seized funds can't be matched to specific victims. Back in China, people like Mr. Yu live with the consequences. Broken marriages, destroyed savings, dreams that were pumped up and punctured overnight. The story of China's crypto queen isn't just about one woman who ran away with other people's money. It's about how trust can be engineered, how national pride can be turned into a selling tool. Some of Tian Jimin's Bitcoin has been found. Some may never be recovered. And some, like that lost wallet with 20,008 coins, just sits there on the blockchain. £1.5 billion, never to be seen again.